Hopefully, you can hear me. Sorry. Interesting. Sorry, I was trying to go live on Instagram on the old account of the same name, but it just literally told me that that feature is no longer available to me. So you'll have to watch me on YouTube, and maybe let me see if I can quickly turn this into a reel because I can go live. That's the weird thing. I can go live on my music one, but I can't on my spiritual one. How interesting. So, as I set this up or try to work on setting it up, let me go over. We just had me and my brother taco dinner date kind of thing. Um, one thing about my brother, he likes to eat, and this is long before anything ever happened to him. Mental illness, injuries, any of that thing. So he is a eater. Like he likes food. Okay. Um, and he likes to watch cook. Well, he used to. I don't know if he actually does anymore, but he does enjoy watching cooking shows. Back in the day when I guess when Rachel Ray had shows and Emerald and Guy Fiore, so he liked those kind of things. Oh my gosh. Ooh. A neighbor girl invited you to dinner. Oh my goodness. Um, did you go? I'm curious. To dinner? All right. So yeah, again, I'm still trying to fumble around with the. Okay, here we go. So my date with my brother, it went pretty well. It was short. Um, he just wanted to eat tacos in a new environment. That's pretty much it. um, but he does remember, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that his memory can be limited, I guess. But the one thing that he does tend to want to remember is things like food and food locations, where to go eat, so that's kind of what I was getting at. So he enjoys food and he enjoys acquiring food and then he enjoys eating the food. Okay. So, yes, there was one time that I took him to this taqueria that wasn't too far from our apartment. Um, and basically like a little hole in the wall kind of place. There's like a car wash right next door. But the tacos are awesome. Okay. Because I think, again, my brother said something like, "Oh, I want to go to Taco Bell." So I was like, "Taco Bell? How dare you?" I was like, "Are you like? Do you not know? You don't know." So I took him to a real taqueria with real tacos, um, and fresh ingredients, right? So, um, so yeah, so he enjoyed eating real tacos with fresh ingredients, rather than whatever Taco Bell is putting in their food or whatever. I don't know. Um, so yeah, sorry, I'm still fumbling around over here with um, yeah. See, I knew they had a 20-minute feature. So yeah, so they do have over here Instagram a 20-minute feature, even though they don't let you go live on some accounts. I can do a 20-minute feature, but now I gotta figure out how to turn my camera lens around. There we go. All right. So yeah. Oh, well that's good. And that's what community is about, right? And I think we all should get back to like community. Having community, being like helpful to one another. We all just can't survive without, a community helper, some kind of, somebody who's going to lend a hand, a neighbor, a good friend. And I would like to think that I'm sitting in my parking driveway right now. I've got, neighbors who we don't talk a lot, but, it's cool. This summer across the street, the one lady who I know, I've seen her for years since I've lived here for almost 20-ish years. at this house, um, where she's retired now, and the lady that used to live next door to her has long since passed on. But this summer, um, the Meals on Wheels folks wanted to or needed to drop off some food for her across the way over there, and it was super hot, and I just happened to be home. And they tried to leave it to the neighbor next door, which he's still a new neighbor. Okay, he's been here for maybe 3 years now, 3 or 4. And he wasn't here because they weren't answering the door, and I just happened to be home, and I just said, "Hey, I'll take it, and I'll give it to her later," and end up, just talking with her a little bit when I delivered her food to her. And then that's when she told me that the lady that was next door to her had passed on, and her not her nephew, her grandchild now lives in that house, kind of thing. So, it's community, and we need to keep community going, you know. So, so yeah. Um, so let me tell you. Let's get into it. So let me tell you about the dinner date, taco date. Okay. I did a posting yesterday, I think, or the day before. My brother had been doing really well in the last few days, even right before taking or getting his next shot. It was almost to the point where I almost forgot by a week. But yesterday, he seems a little bit better now. Yesterday, though, it seemed like something happened to where his symptoms were coming back. And let me describe his symptoms. He has schizoaffective disorder. And this is a combination of bipolar and schizophrenia. And a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about schizophrenia in general. So anytime if you have questions, let me know. Maybe I'll do a video on just schizophrenia and what it really is. Because a lot of times people think that those folks that who are having schizophrenic episodes are dangerous, when really they're a danger to themselves more than anything else. Okay. Um, so my brother has schizoaffective disorder. So, like I said, it's the combination of being bipolar and like having schizo uh, episodes. So he tends to think that he might be somebody else sometimes. He tends to believe that he is married to people he's not married to. No, I am a caregiver. I'm a teacher. I'm a caregiver to my disabled brother, not a counselor though, but thank you. So he tends to think that he is married to various people who he's never met. He also will be extremely vulgar in his writing, because I know him as a person and I know he would never say these things out loud. So he puts it down on paper, I think, as a way to just kind of get it out of him, because the things that he writes is just like obscene things. Um, and he also, when it's getting really bad, his symptoms, he will start not believing that I'm his sister, that his family is not his family. He will start believing, just various things like that. And that's where it gets dangerous, where he thinks that he can, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that actually happened. Oh, where he thinks that he can go into a store and just get whatever he wants because he is the mayor of New Jersey, so things like that. Um, and that's where, again, where it does get dangerous, because if he really believes these things, and somebody who doesn't know who he is, he'll go into a store. And this is like months ago when I did the stakeout at Walmart, y'all, like, please check out those videos. um where he pretty much did that, or almost did that. He went into Walmart and just put food into his pockets and thought that he was just going to walk out. Luckily, I got him, fixed the situation, talked to the folks and stuff. And and that's just when he is having the symptoms. Now when he is not having the symptoms, he is the kindest, most gentlest, most gentle person you would ever meet. Like, seriously. It's almost like Jekyll and Hyde. Not almost, it is. It's Jekyll and Hyde. Like, he is a completely opposite of who at his worst when he's like having the symptoms that he is. And so today, um or no, let me go back, like I said, to 24 hours. I think something happened to where he had like a state of confusion and panic a little bit, not too drastic. Um yeah, he like something happened where he got upset about something, or he maybe just missed a meal, because remember I said he likes to eat, right? So sometimes the symptoms come up when he is in distress. His body is in distress, having pain, or emotional distress, or something of that nature. So he basically like was in a bit of a state of confusion yesterday around this time. And I went to go look for him because I had to do my teacher, like, schooling, because I'm also, even though I'm a teacher, guess what? I'm in school too, to update my teacher certifications. So after I was finished online with my class, I got off, the computer. I went around looking for him. Luckily, I know at this point he can't go too far. So again, if you have not seen my playlist, you will know why. Okay, I can go back into that. So he kind of stays close to the apartment building now, for the most part. But yeah, so I went around looking for him because it was definitely past time his medication to be taken. Luckily, I found him, and I convinced him to come upstairs and take his medicine. He was telling me, I don't know exactly what he was saying, but I could tell that he had basically some takeout garbage in his hand. And that's yet another one of his symptoms. Like, he will rummage through garbage because at one point in time he was actually homeless. Okay. So some of it that, things that he did for survival, sometimes he'll revert back to that. So when he came back into the apartment, I could tell, like, especially how he was carrying it. I was like, there's nothing in that bag, in that takeout bag. He probably went to the garbage can to look for food when really he has an apartment. So that's what I mean by a state of confusion. Like, I don't think he knew where he was or how to get back upstairs to the apartment. Okay. So he got his medicine, and I really wanted him to go to sleep, but he did not. Okay. Um, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. So, but yeah, my brother, I gave him his medicine last night, and he told me about the thermostat being broken, which I guess he broke it because I've been trying to get him to convince him not to turn the heat on, but he keeps doing that. Okay, and I'm breaking out in a sweat too right now because of sitting in my car with the windows rolled up and all the things. But anyway, um, so I would have thought that he would have stayed in. So I try to adjust the ceiling fans a little bit for him and make sure that he, got some rest. Maybe he'd feel better the next, in the morning, kind of thing. Like I said, I really had to, and then of course I'm seeing the budding of the full moon, y'all. So of course then I'm like, I know it's a superstition, but I really am starting to believe like the full moon brings out certain things in people. Like, I'm legit. Okay. Um, so I'm seeing like the full moon will be this weekend sometime, but it's coming. Um, so yeah, I went home back here, did what I needed to do to get ready for work tomorrow, which is today. But then I made note, I was like, I probably need to go over there kind of early just in case, because I have a feeling that he might not stay there tonight. Okay. And I suspect that he was there for a time last night. Okay. Yeah. Somewhere on the lunar clock, I believe that. Yeah, so he spent some time there last night, overnight, but I did not see him this morning, right away, that is. Um, so luckily, like I said, I got over there early enough so that I wasn't quite late for work this morning, so those on YouTube know I was just maybe a couple minutes late this morning when I put on a live, and I already described to you what I was doing. So please go back to that one video today. Um, but yeah, so I did find him. He was, walking around the apartment building, and he told me that he left his bag with his computer at the coffee shop, which is basically the same building as the clubhouse of our apartment building, but they don't open until 9. And at that time it was 6:45 or 6:50 by the time I found him. So he had to wait, right? Um, and he did get it. He sent me an email around 10 o'clock because he has acquired another laptop, y'all. He is crafty, okay? You might be mentally ill, but he is not dumb, okay? So somehow he's gotten another computer, and he was emailing me on the second computer asking for me, like, I guess he's trying to imply that I buy him a new computer cord. And again, please look at all the other videos about what went down with all that, because I'm not buying him extra stuff. So so yes, so I assumed that he still didn't have his bag with his laptop in it, but that he used the other computer to send the email. So this afternoon I went over and I went through, checked the mail, went to the coffee shop and asked the barista there and say, "Hey, did you see a black bag? Blah blah blah." He looked around and he was like, "No," but then he said, "Oh yeah, but I only came. My shift started at 2 o'clock today, so maybe somebody earlier probably gave it to him." So I was like, "Okay." So then now I go up to the apartment. Meanwhile, oh yeah, so I did buy the tacos before coming over. Um, so because I was just like, I'm busy. So yeah, so so I had already bought the tacos on the way back to the apartment. Because he still, even this morning, I reminded him, like, "Hey, do you still want to go to get tacos and eat them in the park?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." So those are the things that make him come alive, right? And make him more of himself. So I kind of want to do more things like that help him be more of like a regular person. And I don't want to always focus on him like taking his medicine and trying to get well. Like, like he could be well if I treat him well, like a regular well person, right? Um, but sometimes it's hard when he's having the symptoms. So anyway, back to the story. So I have the tacos. I come upstairs. I see that he's in the apartment. He's on his bed or whatever. I was like, "Hey, you still want tacos? You want to go?" And he's like, "Yeah." So we go to the park, which is not too far away. It's like 2 blocks up the street from the apartment. Awesome. That's where we went and had tacos a few months ago when we went, okay, to the park. And I showed him a part of the park that he had not seen before we parked. And then we parked next to the tennis courts because nobody was there. And we ate next to the tennis courts and we talked a little bit. And that's again where he showed who he, deep down who he is. Um, oh yeah, he opened the door for me. Sorry, things like that. Like that's who he is. He opened the door for me as we were leaving the apartment, and what else did he do? Oh, he took my food trash, like he offered. These are the things who he really is. So little signs like that is who my brother really is, that I feel like when I start to see those signs, I can tell he's feeling better. Okay? Other than not or hearing things or maybe seeing things that aren't there, it's hard. I can only imagine. Okay, I don't know who's behind me. Oh, yes, my neighbors. All right, so yeah, so it's those little things that I can see and know that he wants to be treated normally, which I don't have a problem with. I just need more of a care team around us to help with that. Because me looking around for him early in the daylight hours to see where he is and to see that he did not take his medicine right before I have to go to work, spend a whole almost 10, 11-hour day with room for the children that don't listen. And then still I got to bring, like, teachers, if you know what a teacher's life is, y'all, we work before work, we work at work, and we work after work too. So I've got weekend work I got to do, on top of all of that. So that's again the reason why I'm over here right now. At least I have my desktop that sometimes it makes things a little bit easier. I can just bam out, really quick my lesson plans and some other things I need to do. And then go back over there, because that's what my plan is for this afternoon. Um, but yeah, he wants to have like that regular normal life. And while we were eating tacos, he was talking about his life before in Birmingham, Alabama. We now live in Atlanta, Georgia. Um, and he was like, I need to find somewhere where I can run where it's flat, like a track and things like that. And he was like, can I run here at the tennis court? And I was like, I guess if nobody's there, nobody's gonna stop you. The gates are open, right? And I told him, it's like, well, if you see somebody coming, you would leave, right? And he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I don't see how anybody would have a problem with that. Nobody's using it. It's a flat space. It's walking distance from the apartment. If you want to get your exercise in, that's a great spot where you don't feel like you are going to hurt yourself. Because he used to be a former runner. And I think he worries about the terrain that he runs on. He wants, yeah, the head trauma. Yeah, I think he wants somewhere to run like he used to when he was younger. That's safe enough so he doesn't fall or trip or fall, because I think that's what he worries about. That's why he doesn't run as much as he wants to now. Um, so yeah. But yeah, he seemed a lot better. Now, there were still symptoms though. I'm gonna just tell you all this now. Even while we were eating tacos, he was still kind of seeing things that weren't there. And he'll say, even though I'll ask him like, hey, are you seeing something that's not there? And he was like, no, I'm just pretending. But I already know. Okay. So yeah, he's still seeing things that aren't there. And even though I'm pretending like I see something that's not there. But and I kind of have to overlook that, and just hope that now that he got his shot Wednesday, it's 2 days in. The new medication hopefully is starting to help a lot more too, and hopefully he'll get more rest, stay hydrated. And I don't know what happened, but I think it was the moon, quite honestly. That's also like a problem in this too. And I probably need to leave because I'm really getting hot. All right, thanks for listening to my story. I'm going to actually go in and get my overnight bag and all that stuff. 'Cause I plan on spending the night over there so I can sleep in. Okay, to make sure he takes his medicine in the morning because he likes to get up at 4 or 5 in the morning. I normally get up at 4-ish in the morning to go to work, but if I don't have to go to work, I'm gonna stay in. Okay. All right. With that, I'm gonna say take care. And yeah, please watch the playlist. Okay, it has like at least 100 videos. If you're interested in the story that I'm telling about my brother and about wellness too, because he is actually, like I said, getting a lot better than before. Okay, like better in years, like seriously. I'll say this, in 2019 he was not like he is right now. Okay, whatever medicine they had him on in 2019, he is more of himself. Even though he has the symptoms, he's more of himself now. And I'm going to, pat myself on the back for that, for his wellness, supplements, food, and focusing on, taking care of his body and the medicine. Okay. With that, I'm going to say take care. Bye, y'all. All right. Yeah, I'm sweating. I'm sweating. So for the gram, I had to end early. But for y'all, I love y'all, but I got to go. I'm sweating now. All right. Bye.